Brand new from Envy for fall 2021. This is GIA coming up. I purchased this wig style with my own funds from Wig Studio One. If you expand the information box below this video, I will attach a link directly to this style. You can go out and take a look at all of the colors, the pricing. If you have any questions for us, please reach out to support at Wig Studio One and enjoy a 30% off automatic coupon at checkout for all Envy styles at Wig Studio One. GIA is a short, soft, textured, chin-length bob style with bangs. This is one of 5 new fully synthetic styles by Envy for fall 2021. It's here in the color dark blonde. I really enjoy the dark blonde color by Envy. It's not too gold and it's not too warm. And so you're gonna see a combination of some medium to dark honey and ash blonde. And that's heavily highlighted with a light neutral blonde. So if anything, it's more neutral, leaning a little bit cool. It is not a rooted color. You can see those highlights just sort of blended coarsely throughout. So I want to go through the specs and the measurements real quick, and then I want to point out some very critical details on this style. So the front, they say the front is 8 to 8.5 inches. Now, I feel like there is a lot more layering than what was described by Envy. So that first layer here is probably about 3.5 inches. And then there's some layers here on the side. And then finally, that side layer that stretches down to about 8. So I'm going to call that anywhere from 3.5 to 8. There's multiple layers around the face, which I absolutely love. It frames the face very nicely. And in the back, about a 9-inch crown and a 3-inch nape. And the way the 9-inch crown meets the 3-inch nape, it does leave a little bit of slight stacking and a ledge effect there, giving it lots of fullness there in the back. It weighs just over 3 ounces and is completely open cap. So there's no lace or monofilament on this style. So it's basically a shake and go style, but I feel like it does need some work. So when I brought this right out of the box, you know me, I just kind of give it some shakes and apply it. I struggled with where to part this wig style because typically, even on open cap styles, the hair has to part somewhere, right? So typically right from the factory, that part is a little bit left of center. So I found that this would really only part for me a little bit right of center. Now you would think that since it is an open cap that you'd be able to part it in any direction, and I think you can. I think it will take some work to bring it out of that little bit of right part. In fact, when I opened up the cap and looked on the inside, there's actually a little bit of space there. Implying that there's a little bit of a right hand part. So that is very different than what I am used to. So I feel like you really have to work at this to obscure the permatease on the top. There's just a thin layer of permatease there, but you can definitely see through to it. You see how fine and thin that is on the top? I feel like it needed a little bit of a heavier density just so that I could pinch up and around that permatease layer to obscure it better. But again, you'll see that it parts on the right and I've swept it off to the left, which is a little bit different. And then I just kind of pinched in there around that part just to fluff up the fiber around that permatease layer the best that I could. But that just a bit right of center seemed to work the best for me on this particular piece. Now you can always see variance from piece to piece, so I only have this one piece here to show you today. So let's talk about the bangs a bit. So those bangs, anywhere from 3.5 to 5 inches here around the eyes, and it just kind of sweeps off to the side. So let's talk about this wave real quick. So there's a little bit of underwave here at the nape and the crown area as they meet up. That helps give a little bit of stacking and that rounded effect in the back. So there's a little bit of underwave there, a little bit more permatease there at the nape. And it's pretty smooth until you get about halfway down, and then you start to realize some of that curl. And then there's just this soft kind of textured wave that is sprinkled all throughout the style. I think that's really unique. I love it that it's not completely smooth. I think the texture just is really very flattering and youthful on this one. You can get some volume, not on the top. I don't believe there's enough fiber on the top and or permatease to get any kind of lift on the top, but you can definitely get some on the sides and back. Now this Envy fiber, this is the fully synthetic, and it is very fine and dry. You have experienced this fiber before on many fully synthetic Envy styles, like Dakota just comes to mind. This is the kind of fiber that was on Dakota. And with your 30% discount at Wig Studio One, I feel like this is an affordable piece, which you would also expect from an open cap style like this. So if you can work out the parting area, I think it's absolutely adorable. Here's an inside look at the cap for Envy's GIA, a completely open cap. So you're gonna see a nice velvet piece right there at the front, a little bit of a hidden weft there at the front as well, which gives a nice looking hairline. And then here are the open wefts on the top, covered by a little bit of rose lace. You'll notice that there is a little more permatease there along this demarcation. That's actually on the right-hand side, and that's exactly where it wants to part for me. So I felt like that was really not a coincidence that I can see this from the inside of the cap. Open wefts all throughout. And there's a closed rose lace ear tab. Lots of fibers spliced in there for good coverage. And we actually have an extended rose lace nape with bra strap type adjusters. Lots of wefting here. I feel like this cap is completely average right out of the box. And I had to cinch it in only slightly to accommodate a petite average circumference. So with glasses, let's give that a try. Beautiful between the ear and the ear tab. It's very nice and secure. So I'm just going to manipulate this hair a little bit so you can get a sense of the texture, the density, the movement of the hair. Those are all important things to know and best described through styling, I think. So everybody have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon on TAZSWIG Closet at Wig Studio One.